just checking something. I know you can probably hear me now, but this is not the sound I want. I want it coming through my Yeti, which is weird. I was supposed to do, yeah. Is the sound okay? Is the quality all right? It's just weird. It's coming through something else. So weird. What's this one? That's weird. Yeah. Yep. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to add something. Audio input. Let's try this one. Here we go. Okay, now you should be getting it through my microphone and it should be better. Okay, cool. So then I'm going to put aside and that should be fine. We should be good. Okay, cool. Try now. Okay, you should be hearing me for sure now. Okay, cool. Excuse me, and also there's yeah, I'll just wait till I see that. Okay. I was gonna go get this, but I'm not gonna do that now. I'll go do that later. Just waiting for that. Okay, great. Thanks, Stephen. Great. Okay, guys. So, all right. So I have a couple of things here. I have got MT4 with all my my watch list of tradable items. I wish I'm using all the correct tools. So in terms of the broadcast, I do it through OBS, which is the correct streaming tool. But there's always this awkward, and there's no other word to describe it, but there's always this awkward thing in the beginning where I have to do that. So that's fantastic. So anyway, I'm going to do my trading through the one FOREXVOX account, which is like a tracker account. I'm going to do that. And we'll see. And these are all the instruments that I have to trade, which should be enough. For the most part, it should be enough. And then what I've done is I've just set up I've just set up a chart for each one because I usually use this one for my analysis. But there's no money in this account. So there's no money in this account. But on my other one, which I'll just bring across, which I'm just currently doing some back testing on, there's live cash. There's a whole bit of cash on that one. So this one is, and especially if I bring up, say, for example, this one, it's just a live account that you can see here that goes up and down. And what does that look like? FX Blue, is it this one? Go through and have a look at that one. Yeah, there we go. So this is that account, and I just use it to trade and test and do stuff with. And then I just take money out. So that pays for like holidays and a few things, which is really interesting. So I've actually, since I opened the account, I've probably taken how much out of that? 12 grand out of a 20 grand account. So relatively decent. And then what was I going to say here? So it's quite interesting when you look at it, you can see the kind of cumulative return. So it was at 62, it's down at about 56, 57 now. And it's really interesting when you look at the kind of monthly return table. It was actually at about 12. So we'll see where we finish up, but it goes kind of up and down. So anyway, so I'm going to use that account for today. It'll be the purposes of that. I'm not going to use a client account or do anything like that. And I also have PROREALTIME that I've set up with a 4-hour setup. So I've got a 15 minutes, 1 hour, and 4 hour. And for the purposes of today, I'm going to try, possibly we'll do 4 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes, so, and 5 minutes, let's just say. Okay, there we go. Just to set this up, and then I can probably go with 100 or 75, just bear with me. I haven't done live trading in ages with people. Okay. And this can be 75 as well. So the 4 hours crucial. Okay, so basically the reason I've done this, the reason that I have done this setup for you. Cool. Okay, good. The reason I've done this setup is this is just a nice little layout for me to be able to see multiple timeframes together. And then I've got this one where I can run through it as though I'm using the platform. And then I'll place the orders on this account. Okay, so I quite like to use a tool, for example. So what I'll do here is I'll use this last one. I'll add a chart. Let me show you how I would usually do this. So we'll take something like Aussie dollar. It'll be 5 minute or 15-minute time frame. I'm going to place the order. I'm going to use a tool that I quite like called, where is it? It's an indicator. It's an indicator called position size calculator. So I'm going to use position size calculator here. And what this is going to do is it allows me to set a target of, let's say 3-to-1 if I want to do that as a default. And it allows me to, and I can just call it, I'll just call this one live trade or something like that. We'll just call it live T, or just a preset, live T, June 22, if we do this, for example. No, live trading session. There we go, live trading session, and call it that. And then I'm going to call this one as well, LTS underscore. And then I'm going to do as a default, don't worry about this because this is going into the settings, but my initial risk will be 0.25%. Doesn't really matter. We'll do that for now. And I was looking for the number of orders. So if I do this, more than one target to for script to split. If I do that, it creates 2 orders. So that means that if you look at the settings now, you can see that is my default risk, 0.25%. It'll have a take profit of 3-to-1. You can see it here. So let's just say if I'm looking at this now and we are bullish, let's say this is actually already potentially a nice little setup. We're bullish, okay, so it's Aussie dollar bullish. If, for example, I want to go on a pending setup, I put it above the high, stop loss below the low if I want to do that. So for the purposes of live trading, and it's got a 1-to-1 target, generally speaking. Okay, so there should be a 1-to-1 target. Let's have a look at that. And it's adjusting my 3-to-1 targets automatically. So my issue here is I forget how I set up the 1-to-1s, which is weird. And you can take that off as well. So you can take it off and manually put in your target. You can put in your entry. You can do all of that stuff. Take profit 2 is usually going to match that. So for example, if my stop loss is 72, then I'll just make that 72, and then that's my 1-to-1 target kind of thing. So I want to just see something here. I wanted to actually get in on that, but just have a look here. Let's just take that in. So I'm just going to drag and execute this on this one. Okay. So there's a pending trade. Actually, that's what I want to do. Let's just do this quickly. You'll see what I'm going to do now and just go live. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. And just do this. So just have a look at that and see how that goes. Okay. So it's a relatively aggressive move. I'm not too concerned about it at this time. Let me just show you what the logic was behind that. So in principle, I've just dived into a trade, so that's not really kind of the goal here. Let's just go through a couple of these charts at the moment. So we have a problem. Mondays are always a kind of a weird day. They honestly can kick off and just go, or they can change direction. Or they can do nothing. They really, for me, Mondays and Fridays are the 2 iffy days. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays will generally be active trading. So if somebody put a gun to my head and said, look, you can only trade 3 days a week instead of 5, it would be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm pretty sure I'd capture most moves. So here's the problem we have today. We have a problem of, in principle, the markets really is sitting. I mean, like, this isn't really the best week to do some live trading, but I mean, let's just see how it goes. It doesn't really matter, because if this goes nice, it doesn't matter how it goes. I mean, I'd like to do more live trading sessions. So as I said, the dollar and euro, they all sit at major levels. Okay, they're all sitting at key levels here. For example, this is the Dow. If we look at, say, euro dollar, so let's go through this, and we look at that, we've got this is a major level historically that we're sitting at potentially. And so this is trying to decide what it's going to do. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'll start by looking at the 4 hour. If we look, for example, at the Dow, we've got a downtrend, so we should be, in principle, we should be looking for sells. But there's also some bullish divergence, and we've got some bullish signals here. So there is a fair possibility that the market could head higher today. So the 4 hour should give me my direction. Okay, so if we look at kind of what I've outlined here as my stuff, I'm looking to target 3 to 1 on my average trade. If I look, for example, and there's a trade setup that I like the look of, excuse me, but there's a major level, and it's clearly not going to be a 3 to 1, then I'll just take that 2 to 1. If the trend is strong and it's a good setup, 2 to 1 is acceptable. Okay, but I want to be targeting sort of 3 to 1 on average. Partial takeoff, partial profits are 1 to 1. So this is trade management. This is really important. This is trade management, which is very important. So trade management can take an average trade and manage to capture some profit on it. I should check the news as well. We're only going to be live trading for an hour now, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll do an update on it to my LinkedIn page or something to see what the outcome is. But let's go see if there is any news that I need to be paying attention to, which was, is there anything on this today? There's nothing that's really showing up here, so I'm not too concerned. If I go through to Forex Factory and see if there's anything over here, and then tick it all up, and see anything for today. Okay, possibly some news at 9 o'clock, so not really going to impact us at this time. Cool. So I think for now, 4 hour gives me my trade direction. Okay, so what I'm looking for is a clear uptrend, and then I'm looking for an entry on my 15-minute, 5 minutes, or 1 minute. We can have a look at that, and then that was just if I was going to do anything else. Cool. Okay, so this is let me give you an example of that to explain, and I'm going to use a tool so I can draw. I might also ask my mom-in-law to make me a coffee. Just see if I can. Just gonna do that. See what she says. Okay, so what I'm looking for is this. I'm looking for a trend that's either going up or a trend that is either going down. So what that really means is I need to see on the 4 hour, ideally, some form of a series of candles, and it can just have broken that high, and I'm looking for something like that. Or I'm potentially looking for something where there's already something like this in play. What I don't want to do, guys, is get involved with a chart that looks like this, or one that is looking like that. So it's not there's no clear trend. I'm preferring something with a very clear uptrend or a very clear downtrend. Okay, so if we run through the charts very quickly and have a look at that, this is looking to me as though it is wanting to turn around, but it could wobble a bit. You know, my expectation is that we've got like 45 minutes to an hour, and I want to see the market push higher. And it possibly isn't going to do that for my happiness. We'll see how that goes, or for my convenience. But you can also see here, for example, the S&P looking more bullish. That's quite nice, like a higher low, nice little bullish candle here. It might not look super obvious to you, but I quite like the look of that showing, almost showing with the bullish divergence looking like it might be wanting to turn around. I've got the NASDAQ is also looking, I think, particularly bullish here. Might want to, it's got to break through that resistance level. Let's look at the FTSE. The FTSE is in a downtrend, and so within the bigger picture, I should be looking for markets. I should be looking to trade short. However, all of our trades, this is going to run for the next 3 hours. So all my trades are going to take place within this 4-hour candle. Does that make sense? It's going to take place within this 4-hour candle, which therefore means that this is still currently retracing. That's the problem. It's currently retracing. It might only go up a little. It might only come up to here. But within the next 45 minutes, I need to be trading in line with that. Also here, the DAX. Producing a higher low, looks very bullish. So all I'm doing here is it's right by that level. Need to keep an eye on that. Gold is kind of pulling back down to this level. It's produced a bit of support here. It may well head up. We've got silver, which is finding some strong support here. It's got a 4-hour candle here. Not really looking ideal. I'm looking for something that has a clear 4-hour direction. So here we've got oil, UK oil, US oil, which is trying to kind of turn around. Not really that good. Natural gas is gap down. We'll skip that. Euro dollar. So euro dollar is producing a series of high lows. It's trying to trend up. It should be trading higher. Cable as well also is producing high lows and higher highs. So it should be trading higher. So we'll have a look at cable. We've got Aussie dollar, which is certainly, it's no clear trend, but it's also looking nice and bullish. So let's go back to the other account. There we go. I'm almost at my 1-to-1. So what did I do? I've traded in line with the US dollar. I've actually done that. If all the charts that I've shown you appear to all, there's like a major trend and they're all currently taking a bit of a breather. If you watched any of my analysis that I did on the weekend, you will see that, so let's just see what happens here. I want to see if it taps, closes the trade out. So I've traded in line with a trend, with a current trend. Now the 15-minute trend is trading upwards. Yes, it is. The 4-hour, so if we go and have a look at it over here, the 4-hour is trading upwards. There's no clear trend here on the day, on the 4-hour. This is a problem. We had a downtrend, then we produced an uptrend, then we broke that trend, and now we're pushing back up. So the reason I took the trade was more because of the bias of the weaker US dollar. If we look at euro dollar, they're all trying to climb. They're all trying to push a little bit higher. They're struggling a bit, but they are trying to do it. We've got cable that's also trying to push a little bit higher, but not really going there. We've got Kiwi dollar, which is trending high. Kiwi dollar was actually possibly a better trade than Aussie dollar. I just didn't get to it. I just saw the Aussie dollar. So you need to tell me if while I'm talking, this doesn't make sense. There's a bit of a lag, by the way, between, there's a way to do it. I've been trying, but there isn't a way for me to get zero lag from the stream. So there's about a 7-second lag, give or take, between when I say something and when you're hearing it. I apologize, but it's something to do with YouTube live streaming and OBS, and there's no obvious answer on how to do it. So let's just see if I can tap my 1-to-1 target. If I can do that, then the trade goes to break even. Okay. And so first of all, why did I take the trade long? I took the trade long because all the 4-hour candles on euro against the US dollar, GBP against the US dollar, principally Australian dollar against US dollar, Kiwi dollar against US dollar, are all currently trying to move higher. I've got a 4-hour, look at the 4-hour chart. It doesn't look like it's heading low. It looks like it should be heading higher. Excuse me. So that then directs me to Aussie dollar, US dollar. Why did I take the trade here? Can I actually draw? Will it allow me to draw on my chart? So there's an uptrend here. Yes. Then there's a break of the high here. So if you, great, wrong color. Let's go yellow. Let's go yellow. Can we choose a different color? Where's my color? Yeah, let's go yellow. There we go. So then there's a high here. You can see there's a little bit of a level here. Okay, you can see the level there. price, at that point, there's a level there. So price has broken through it. Okay, so that trade's closed out. It's broken through it, and then there's a little bit of a resistance level here. So it's going to be hard for me to explain. There are going to be so many things that will be in my brain will automatically compute that I'll forget to consciously mention to you. So I'm trying to explain the logic now. So the idea is that we look for a break of the high. The general momentum for me, I believe, looking at the other charts, is bullish. So the question then becomes, can I find one of these charts that has a very nice clear entry? Now, as it happened, that chart had a break of a high, not a pullback. A pullback would have been fine. So this candle here would have been a great entry. Why? Because there's a level of resistance here. I'm going to draw a line across generally, okay, like that. That was badly drawn. Price broke up through it, pulled back, produced this candle that didn't do anything, then produced this candle which doesn't look good, but then produced this candle. And it sounds really odd, but that candle within the context of this is a bullish candle. Do you want me, quick survey, do you want me to change the color? I'll change the candle colors. I'll change them now to green and everything. And then it carried on. However, I didn't get that. That candle was before we started. So I didn't really get it. She hasn't seen my thing. So I didn't get that, but that would have been the best one. Why? Because when we have a nice trend, a beautiful like this, imagine this, and you have that, and price pulls back and produces a green candle. That's principally, if I'm generally bullish, that would be my entry. So the first thing I'm doing is looking for a direction. That's the key to everything. Look for a direction. Then I'm going to be looking for an entry. So the direction is already predetermined. And I remember when I got started was, I didn't know that, but the chart should give you your direction. Once you've got your direction, then the entry becomes kind of just the next step. So that would have been the perfect one. It would have been amazing, but it didn't. So the next thing happened was the same thing. We basically went up price. There's a level here. You can see the level. Let me remove it so that I can draw it again. But there, to me, I'm just going to swap this up. So it's come back now. So it doesn't matter to me because this trade is a break even already. And I'll talk about, I want to talk about so much so quickly, I can't do it. So first of all, let me do a couple of things here. Let's just go through and change this. Let's go through and just do foreground, blah, 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 blah. Lime green. Okay. Up. Bull candle. Line graph is fine. Let's just do red. And bear candle is red. That should do it. I like lime. Okay. So that was a really, really nice bullish candle. If I just quickly put that in, it was just nice. That's actually kind of your level, roughly. You could argue about where the line should be. That should be the line, or that should be the line. We'll put it there. I'm happy with that. Nice little bullish candle. For me, was that you cannot possibly, if you are in your first few months of trading, you can't at all ever be expected to see things that they're not obvious, but they become obvious after a while. So an example I use is dogs and cats. If you own a dog or a cat or any kind of a pet, once you've spent enough time with them, you get a sense of them. You get a sense of dogs in general, what are dog-like behaviors, and so you know after a while. And then you know your own dog as well. Sometimes you'll know because its behavior doesn't match other dogs. So you learn all those little things. So just spending time, I think, with candles will help you, but it's not enough. You need someone to say, that's a bullish candle, that's a bearish candle. You need all those stuff. You need a foundation of that. Then you can build on top of that. So you need a frame of reference. And so the idea here was I'm going to talk about this one first because everything else follows from that. that uptrend, I'm bullish on it in principle. And that would have been the perfect entry for me. I think that would have been great because price would have pulled back to a level of support, tested it, and carried on. Then there was a second entry. Okay, so there was a second one which occurred as a continuation. Okay, which was a break here. So these two candles, I'm trying to break down the logic behind what I did. That's not a good sign, by the way. This is not really a helpful sign for me. You see it's struggling here. Look at this little level here. If I have to draw in what's going on, it's struggling here. So the direction of my trade, there's nothing wrong with the direction of my trade. It's the right direction. The question is, will price tap my stop loss before it gets up to that? That's what it really is. Did I get in at the right place? So you can, and this is really important, guys, you can take a good trade and lose money and then think it was a bad trade, but it was actually a good trade. And the problem is that you don't always know that up front. So I'm trying to explain the logic behind this trade because I took it very quickly and then I need to explain that. Outside bar trigger. Do you mean, Roberto, do you mean this one? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the other stuff? Anyway, so okay, cool. So it's fine. It's a good question. So Roberto's asking me the same logic. The logic applies. Price breaks up, comes back, produces a green candle, which could be seen as a bullish one. So I could have put my entry above that high. The logic being, this is not the best candle shape. It's not the best candle shape because a bullish candle, the market should be closing progressively higher. Okay, progressively higher. It should be doing that, and it didn't close near the highs. It kind of dropped down, so it's close to being an indecision / spinning top type of candle. I like it when they close higher. And so I could have put my entry there and my stop loss below that. So it's not an attractive candle. It's not an attractive candle. It's also it's a little bit big, but it's not an attractive candle. And so I could have done that, which means I'd have been triggered in roughly the same price difference. I'd been triggered in roughly the same price difference. But the next candle didn't trigger it. And as soon as I saw this candle, to me, that is a really good setup. We have got two rejections of the same level. So here we go, pushback, then another one goes down, but then we get another pushback. And the second one has more of a message. I'm gonna, it has the message is stronger on the second candle and it closes near the highs. So to me, then what I would have done, the first one would not have triggered. Then I would have moved my entry above that one and my stop loss below here. So where would my stop loss be? My stop loss, guys, would be here. Why is that the most sensible approach? The most sensible approach is that it has some protection from this level and it's also below the lowest low, which is this candle here. So it does that. Then I would have been triggered in and that was fine. So I'm going somewhere with this, guys. There could be other trades happening right now. Do you want me to go look at other trades or do you want me to explain the logic behind this one? Because I think there's a lot of value in just this one. And then we can go look. We'll see how we go. I might run over by, but I have a relatively open morning. So the first thing I wanted to convey was why did I like this chart? Why did I decide to go long? I've explained the logic. It's a quarter of a risk per trade. I mean, it's nothing. It's pennies on that. So because I did a small amount of money, psychologically, the money is not a factor. That's a really important demonstration here. Will you trade better if you are stressing about something or not? So the fact is that to me, 1% per trade is still, especially if because it's distracting. If I'm trading in front of other people, you potentially get performance anxiety. Trading, you do not traditionally trade in front of other people. It's not like golf. If you're a professional golfer, there's always crowds around. But that's an added layer of distraction. It's just distraction. That's all it is. And so it's an added layer. So what you do then is you compensate by bringing down all the environmental stresses, and money is the loss is always going to be a factor. So you bring it down, and I'm happy to trade a quarter of a percent. A quarter of a percent. If I hit my target, I'll get 0.75%. And like if I hit 0.3 per day, if I can bag 1/3% every day, I will be up 6% a month with compounding. So, and then I'm up 100% a year. So I understand that small amounts are not a problem. What you need to do is to be zen. So this is struggling. I want you to see the price action here. Look at all the candles over here. There's a couple of wicks over here, but this is a problem. This market is struggling right now. All of this shows depletion. I think there's a very strong probability that if this candle in 9 minutes does not close near the high, if it doesn't manage to overcome whatever's going on there, I think it's going to come back down and hit the stop loss. I'm going to say that for the record. I think if this does not manage to close near the high, because it's battling, there's something going on here. If it closes as a failed thing, the smart thing would be to just close the trade. Just close the trade. I can always take another trade. But I want to see what happens. I want to go through the exercise of studying price action. So I want to continue because there's something really important that happens over here. So I'm going to go to the whiteboard. I'm going to show the desktop. So you'll often see, I'm going to draw it. So imagine you have a nice little bullish candle that looks like this, right? Often your next candle will look like this. If it's bullish and it continues on, your next candle will look like this. Okay, that's what will happen. I'll get to the stop loss because there's multiple outcomes in the session today. One of the purposes is to talk about reading price action and then having to make a decision based off that. I could close the trade, I can move the stop loss up. But isn't that really the same as in this particular case? If that candle closes as a failed candle, why, excuse my language, why fuck around? Why not just like look at it? It's really struggling with this level over here. Why mess around? Why not just take it and bank it? Like this market is clearly struggling. I'm just trying to illustrate. I'm doing lots of things right now at the same time. I'm requesting a coffee. Can I get a cup? Just trying. I'm asking I can see my mom-in-law, my fiance in the kitchen. No, I'm in the garden office. So I'm trying to do multiple things here, but I'm trying to do this. Now, you must understand that if you're a new trader, you're stressing about money. So you've got this whole layer of other stuff going on. And it's very hard for you to just kind of read what's going on and pay attention to it. So does this look like this market is struggling to you? Yes, it does. Yes, I should go and I think I should just close the trade. Where am I going to move my stop loss to? I can move it to this candle. I can. But trailing your stop like that will often mean that you get stopped out prematurely. You have to. And here's another thing I'm going to do. I'm going to wait until that time closes. Okay. Because the story's not over yet. It's not over yet. This candle might, I'm not sure if it's going to, but it might close over the line, and it might the story that it's telling you is I'm okay, I'm going to carry on. So until this clock, it ain't over. It's not over until it's over, so to speak. So I'm going to go on and talk about this, because although the shape isn't exactly the same, the story is actually it's that is collectively is the story. So if you go down here, what you can often get is that if you zoom in on that, if you had to, this is a a 4-hour candle, for example, if that's a 4-hour candle, this is a 4-hour setup, what you would see if you went down to a 15-minute window is probably something like this. The market goes up, comes down, sets, tests that level, and then carries on up. So that's what you see. So that's kind of what this is. This is the market coming down, testing it, and carrying on. Okay, and so that's really what I wanted you to get away from this whole thing with those candles over there, is that is that here, price closed up at this high. The next candle tried to go up there. It didn't close near the highs, but then the next candle came down, tested it, and pushed up. So on a micro scale, you've kind of got something like this. You've got all of that behavior is really what's happened if you followed what price was bobbing about. And then I got in basically on a break sort of above that with my stop loss in this area. So in other words, I've had the market already test and carry on. I just needed it to keep going. And that's what's going on. But overall, that's not a great sign. And this collective thing is not a great sign. It's not a great sign. And this is why we do the partial. I'm just cleaning up my thing. This is why we do the partial things. Just gonna go do this. Where's my there? Okay, so I want to see what happens. We're going through this exercise. So while that's doing that, I'm gonna go. I am going to go and you'll notice also I didn't look for any support resistance levels. I just targeted a 3-to-1 based off this. No one's heard my thing. Give me a second here. Hi, my love. I've been messaging you guys to ask if, because I'm live, I'm streaming live. Yeah. You did? Yeah. Thank you. Oh.
That's why I'm leaving you in peace, because I know you're doing your thing.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right. So, love you. Okay, so yeah, not a great sign. But if this candle does close higher, the story changes. Then this is not really so much of a factor. It's a passing kind of thing. The market is just kind of, the market's not awake yet, and it's just kind of faffing. Okay, so while that's being done, let's go look at some of the other charts. So I can do it on this platform. I can do it here, just quickly run through them. So you can see it is trying to push higher. It's probably encountering moving averages. I don't want to overthink it too much. You can see cable is struggling a little bit here. The whole thing today is the market is trying to decide, the dollar is trying to decide what it's going to do. And this honestly is going to be a problem. If we go here and look at the US dollar is all over the place. It is very keen to push on. And this whole blue area is just a nightmare. So 105 is the line in the sand, and so basically overnight it's kind of pushed back, and now it's trying to go. The dollar is really, really strong, and there's a lot to think that possibly the dollar is going to take over. So I've seen the dollar drop this morning, and I've seen it push back. It's all over the place. So the market is just doing that. So what you want to do in situations like that, ideally, is trade something that isn't really battling the same way. So the dollar's a big problem right now. That's the fly in the ointment. Let's go back to, we'll see what happens. Let's go back to these and carry on. So we've got sterling, we've got Aussie dollar that looks quite bullish, looks really happy. Kiwi dollar looks really nice. Kiwi dollar looks good. So what does Kiwi dollar look like if I go through and add that? So here's another thing that's kind of cool. I can go to this indicator here, it's an indicator, so I'm going to edit that. I'm going to take those settings and I'm going to save those settings as live trading session. I'm just going to save it there, and then I'm going to go ahead and add another chart. So I'm going to go and quickly add another Kiwi chart, so we'll see what that one looks like. We'll go down to the 15-minute. You can see there's a bit of a level here. I can add the trade, not that, add the PSC trader, there it is. Load So there's my settings already. They're already the same. You can see it's struggling. Same thing as well. Not really seeing anything there yet. Okay, so let's keep going. So we've got dollar yen. Dollar yen's battling at a major level. Dollar Swissy is battling. I'm looking at your questions as well. Okay, how would you deal? Okay, cool. Good morning. Hi, Richard. Hey, welcome. So this is leveraged 1 to 30. Yeah, which is also a clue that it's a live account. Basically, the FCA won't cover, at least as far as I know, with this broker, won't cover anything over 1 to 30 leverage. So basically, that's it. Why not push the stop up? Okay, for some reason my chat shows one thing on the one side. Let me have a look and see if there's anything else over here. Oh, there we go. Sorry, Ash. I see your questions now, Ash. I had the two windows side by side, but it's not doing that. Okay. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know. There's nothing special. Sorry, I've got a separate chat. Ash, I don't know why it's not letting you do that. It should allow you to do that, which makes me think there's probably other people who aren't able to use it. I'm not sure why that is. Do I not use moving averages, or is this based purely on support and resistance? I do use moving averages. I just didn't for that trade. Look, the journey of every trader is going to be, ultimately, should just be price action, candlesticks and support resistance levels. But you can use other things to give you additional confidence. Moving averages, Fibonacci levels, pivot levels. Okay, so all I did there was I took the principal idea and went with that. All right, dollar CAD. So dollar CAD's in an uptrend. It's back in the moving averages. So if I saw a bullish candle here, then I'd be looking to go long. So yeah, I'm just jumping between the things because I've been doing it for so long. Excuse me. Euro GBP looks bullish. Okay, that's looking nice and bullish. Euro yen is battling with a level. Because we're doing this live, I need something that is already in motion. I can't have something that's reached a point and it's maybe turning. It's of no use to us on a 4-hour chart. It's of no use to me. We've got Euro CAD, which is at a level, so it's not looking great. Okay, so let's go through these very quickly. Or we can try it a different way. So we're trying different things here. So you can see it closed okay, but it's battling a bit. It's not looking too good. And again, a lot of this, I'm telling you, is coming from that US dollar. So let's try it this way. Let's go through these, because this way I've got a 5 minutes and a 15 minute and a 1 hour and a 4 hour. So all I need to do is make sure that in principle, as many of these are going in the right direction. So look at dollar yen. Dollar yen looking nice and bearish there. So I could be looking for shorts on that. So that's not bad. We could be looking to do that. Hold on. Let's have a look at all the yen pairs. They're pushing good. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. CAD yen, see where I'm going with this. These are not bad. I think the yen pairs are a good way to go. Okay, so how can we do this? Let's go quickly. Just they're all looking relatively bullish. I want to get a sense of that. So I'm going to go across to this. I'm going to leave that. I think I should close it out, but I want, for the purposes of this lesson, I want to see what happens. Okay, for everyone else, I think I should close it out. I think there's a strong probability it's going to come down and hit that stop loss. But in the meantime, let's go and have a look at dollar yen. Let's go to the 5 minutes. We've got it. This is what you could call a bit of a momentum candle. So we've got a strong rejection at that level. We've got a 1 hour downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. Everyone with me so far? Lower highs, lower lows. We've got a 15 minute that's just broken a fresh low, what's called a break of structure. And I'm looking to go short. So I'm going to go the 1 minute. I'm going to switch this up to short. I am going to make it instant. And what I'm looking for now, guys, I am looking for a candle to give me, in this area, I'm looking for a candle to produce some wick failures. Okay, so a couple of signs of that, and then I'm going to set this up. So 1 minute, we're going to trade this. The spreads are much higher. I mean, the broker's great. The broker's fantastic, but we're looking for it. So I'm looking for depletion to come in, which shows me that it's going to stall and then carry on. I'm looking for that to potentially be the case. If that is the case, I'm then going to look to take the trade. I can also make it pending. I can do that. So let's just see. I'm just going to see what's going on with that stuff, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so we're going to watch this. All the yen pairs look like they're heading a little bit lower today. I quite like the look of most of those. While we're seeing how that goes, how is my Aussie trade doing? It's not looking good, guys. This is real time. We've now got a swing high on this. It's almost certainly going to come back down here and decide what to do. Should I close it out? You guys tell me. Close it out or keep it? We'll do a vote. Again, don't you think it's worthwhile? I mean, like, there's a couple of things here. Exactly, focus on it. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. There's nothing wrong with focus of closing that out. If I do, I would have got 0.5% on that trade. I would have got 0.5 R, okay, on that. I'll bank profit on it. Dollar yen. So I'm looking for depletion to come in here. In other words, I'm looking for a rejection candle to come in here to look for a continuation to the downside. Again, I want this to be logical and rational to you. There must be a basis for taking a trade all the time. So in other words, I'm looking which way is the market going, and then I'm looking to find a level of support or push off it, and then I'm looking for an entry around that. So, okay, there we go. Oh, it's happening, quick. Oh no, it's so quick. Let's go live. Let's do that. That's 65. This is so quick. Hold on. So quick. Okay, let's go pending. Let's put that in. Pending. There we go. Stop loss. 90. That looks about right. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, I put my orders in. So here are my orders. Let's see what happens. So there's some nice little exhaustion here. That's what I'm ultimately looking for. I want to see a continuation to the downside. Let's see how that goes. My first take profit is here. If this pushes up and closes up here, I'll cancel the order. Then it's fine. But that's kind of cool. I like at least at my next. Let's see what happens now. I'm looking for a candle to push down. So the logic was we saw all the yen pairs pushing lower on all the time frames. I then looked at the 1 hour, which has a downtrend and has just broken the previous low, which looks like, where is it? Just broken this one here. It's a break of structure. I looked for price to then come back up, and reject it, and then I place my order. So it's not a great entry. I've gone too far away. I should be getting in as we break that low now, and then taking a 1-to-1. So for example, if I did this and then that, I would be in now. That's a better trade. So because we're trading a 1 minute time frame. Am I in? No. Okay, and this is good. In theory now, this should continue down. So if I do this, I'm curious. No, I'm going to leave it. I'll leave it. And let's hide the lines. I'm going to hide them. So now you can see what's going on. Sorry, I want to just see what's going on here. What's going on this one? That looks good. Look at that. So don't worry. If you had said, close it out and bank the profit, that was a valid idea. It was a valid idea based on everything that has happened here. And I led you to that as well, by the way. I influenced your decision because I was like, look at the exhaustion and it's going red. I think it's going to come back here. So let's see. We've still got 6 minutes. So we need to see what's going on here. The market is clearly not sure what it wants to do. Okay, here we go. So if dollar yen is going to head lower. That's 2 orders. I keep forgetting there's 2 orders here. Let's see. Okay, so that's my entry. I'm just going to bring this back a little bit. That's just there. That's my 1-to-1, and my 3-to-1 is down there. So let's see what happens with this. Maybe we get another setup. Yeah. Let's see if we get triggered in. There's a good chance. Look at that. Look at that beautiful level of behavior there. So I'm giving you some price action stuff as well. Let me look at your comments. See how that goes. So let's recap on the logic of this trade. 4-hour candles are all pushing lower. We saw this with our own eyes. We went, okay, Euro Yen pairs pushing lower, Aussie Yen not so much, CAD Yen pushing down. So you want to trade, you can see they're all pushing lower. So you want to trade something that's weak, like this, the weakest of the bunch. Okay, so whichever one that's ultimately going to be, you want to be trading those. You can see it's also now bouncing off these recent lows. Okay, so there's some risk in that trade. We're not in it just yet. And so I took dollar yen because why? Because dollar yen is the most overextended. 1 hour's got that 4-hour downtrend. 15 minutes looks okay. There we go. There's my 5 minute that looks like it wants to go down. And then we look at the 1 minute, which is looking like it wants to break that low. Let's see if that's the case. And then we'll see. So there's some logic in that. Meantime, the Aussie dollar trade looks okay. I want to see it push up. I really want to see it just push past that. Just push a little bit higher. It's really struggling, and we want to see what that 4 minute one is. If when we get to half past, it is looking weak, we'll make a call then. Dollar yen. This is looking more bearish. Let's see how that goes. We'll see if I get triggered in on this, which I think I will. I think it's going to head lower. Let me look at your questions. Okay, cool. Nothing there. Retail trader can't get more than 30-to-1. There we go. Thank you. You're bang on it, Catherine. Right on it. Do I think that Kiwi dollar will continue to fall and go down off the weekly chart? If this goes up, by the way, if that closes to the upside, then we'll just take it. But I think if it's going to head low, this candle will be the one. I'm going to go to this and have a look. So you want me to look at Kiwi dollar. The answer to that, Usman, is all of them are against the dollar. So the answer to that is, what is the US dollar going to do? Because if the dollar is going to go, all of them are going to push below that. Aussie dollar's at a major level. GBP dollar is also at a major, they're all at a major level here. So the answer to that is the same as it is for everything else. And honestly, that is the big question this week. Is the dollar going to weaken? It's at 105. Is it going to push away or not? Unfortunately, that is the best answer that I can give you for now, is we just are sort of going to have to wait and see if that's the case. Okay. Oh, so now I'm triggered in, and it's bullish. So it did kind of, and it's going to push. I'm okay with this. Let's see if this level holds. I mean, it might just stop me out and then struggle and then head down. We're going to find out. We'll see. That is not a great sign. There's definitely a battle going on here, so we'll see. What's going on with Aussie dollar? It's not going anywhere. That's fine. Let's just see this. So that's not really a great. I would have preferred to have seen a close and then the next one come back over the line, because this is a bit of a battle. So let's see if that level holds. We're gonna have to see it. We're gonna just see. There's my level. No, we're out. Okay. But I'm curious. Let's just go see what happens with this level of resistance. I just want to see what happens here. Does it continue up or does it fail? It's a higher low, but this can still hold. No. Okay. Just watching. I want to see what happens here. See, that level's still holding. So now, just see what happens here. I really want to just yet break that structure. Okay, I'm not too fussed about that. No, that's it. Okay, so that structure didn't hold at all. We'll see if anything else is going to do. That one didn't hold. But it would have been nice to do a trade on the 1 minute just to see, because we had the time to then go through with it. And I wanted you to just see, I guess, how the price action. I'm happy with where my stop loss was. I'm happy with all of that. It just, that didn't hold. Okay. And let's just see if there is anything else that's really kind of tradable at this point in time. That can go down to the 4 hour. See, right at these levels. Kiwi CAD, nice little push high. That looks nice and bullish. Excuse me, that's looking nice and bullish. Kiwi pairs are looking a little bit stronger. Aussie Swissy, Aussie Yen. Let me have a look at your comments. I would close and focus on the one. Absolutely, set and forget. I think it's worth waiting for the candle to close. Thank you, guys. How did I decide that I wanted to trade the 1 minute? Oh, so I wanted to trade the 1 minute now because, first of all, we're live and we don't have much. I'm going to wrap up in the next few minutes, but also because that we would have had enough time to see how that setup works, because it had just broken through that level. So I was okay with that. The monthly close from Feb 2002 is at approximately 134.50. Current level might be bouncing from there. Almost certainly all the majors are sitting at these levels right now, and they're all over the place. So I think it's going to be a bit of a battle today. It probably would have been better to choose one of the other yen pairs, but dollar yen is so overextended. You can see a lot of them are just sitting at these major levels. That's fine. That's okay. Dollar yen. Thank you for clarifying that. Let's go back to that. Yeah, but that's continued onwards. And Aussie dollar is pushing. I think if I leave Aussie dollar, that will carry on. And then with Aussie dollar, I'll get... at the moment, it's really trying. It's desperately trying. Look at these lower highs here. So a break of probably this high will probably keep going. Looks like it wants to do that. So while that's doing that, let me just have one more look at anything else and see if there's anything else that's quite nice, that looks decent. And then we'll come back to this, but that's not looking great. So let's go to, let's have a look here. Just run through them again. So I'm looking at the 4 hour. So what I'm doing, just so you know, I'm looking to see some really nice bullish candles here, because if they are, they're probably going to carry on. There's my Aussie dollar close to the moving averages. It's a nice place for it to push off and go higher. So let's see, Kiwi dollar also struggling a bit. I mean, there really is going to be a real battle. Euro GBP is a mess. So if you look here, for example, you see Euro GBP, just all those candles, that's your 15 minutes. So for the last hour, it's going nowhere. And look at it there. It's a mess. So staying away from that. Nothing. Here's where it gets interesting. So there's a little bit of a level here. You could potentially get a breakout on that trade. Look at the 1 hour. So it's got slightly higher lows, flat level here. If you look at price action here, okay, there's a level here, which is going to be a problem. There's no doubt that's going to be an issue. But it is trying to break through here. And if it breaks through that, it's going to push higher. So something like that would be great with a little bit more room to move. Just quickly looking. Sorry, guys. It's interesting to me because I'm wondering if price is coming back to where it is now. See where this level is here? If I do that, price finds support and carries on up. That's probably what's going to happen, but we don't have time because I've kind of got to wrap up and do other stuff now. I'm looking for anything that has a nice little uptrend. Look at that. That's good. What's that? Aussie Swissy. Boom. Aussie Swissy. Oh. It's looking good. Anyway, okay. Aussie Swissy. I'll just go through and get that. Look at that. Beautiful. It's gone. It's already on its way, but that's a really nice level. Look at that. There we go. That. Very nice. Higher lows, flat level breakout. That's very good. If I could have got in on this, I would have been happy with that. Stop loss there is fine. But it's gonna, yeah. And I think that's looking really good. Look at that one. Looks really good. Okay. CAD, Kiwi Yen. Just running through some of these guys. Euro CAD. Okay, that's like pound Aussie is not looking great. Pound CAD, no, nothing that really stands out. Look at this potential level here of that. Pound Swissy could be doing a breakout to the downside. Pound Yen. That's a mess. Look at that. Absolute mess. Remember I was saying to you, if you get a series of candles side by side, just stay away from it. That's just a mess. And you can see it just doesn't... Look at that 1 hour chart. Gold. Gold is trying to find support, but it's not a great setup. Aussie Swissy was looking really nice. That was quite good. That's quite nice. It's really trying to push on. Okay, let's see where we are, guys. So this might do a bit of a pullback. We'll see. How's my Aussie dollar trade doing? Okay, I think that's going to... Interesting enough, the story is changing now. So this failure here, let's move this up. And I think... Or just take this as fine. Just put that up there. Just do that. I'm just marking it. It's just kind of... It's just the logic behind it. Okay, so... Okay, so final notes on this as well. Couple of things, guys. Every candle is either bearish, indecision, like a pause, maybe a pause, or I don't know what to do, or maybe I'm tired, or it's a continuation. Okay, so it's bearish, bullish, or indecision. So my question to you is, for example, that is a bullish candle, okay? And this current candle, if it closes near the top, would be bullish, and the signal is that it's a continuation. It's going, okay, I've closed near the high. Given the recent price action, if this closes near its high with very little wick on top, is it saying, is its behavior the same or different from the previous candles? And if it's different, is it different in line with where we're going? In other words, we're trying to trade to the upside. And if this closes near its highs, above this level, nice and solid, which it looks like it's going to, does that then support the idea the market is like, it's managing to like close a little bit higher and actually manage to fix its feet and keep going? I think it does. I think that then says it's hard, but I'm managing to crawl my way through it. And therefore it becomes a continuation candle. Does that make sense? So let's just see how that goes, but I'm going to wrap up in the next 2 or 3 minutes. I just wanted to kind of explain this to you. Is that okay? If I wrap up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, because I'm sharing the office today. The other thing that I want to take away from this, because that looks good, and if it is going to carry on, then I might just leave the trade open, and then I'll get my 3-to-1 out of this, which is fine. And then I should still be up for the day, right? Because the one trade is 1.5 R and the other was a quarter R. So I'll still be up. It's looking good. I like that. So you have to ask yourself, are the candlesticks, you have to think of it like this. The market is genuinely telling you what it wants to do. Whether it succeeds in doing that is a different story. So the market can say, look, I'm really bullish. I really want to break through this level. And the candle closes bullishly, and then the next candle fails. The market was genuinely telling you it was trying to break through, and it just failed. It's much easier to do that rather than to start thinking about conspiracy theories and you're being manipulated and the market's lying to you. It's much better to just trust that the price action is desperately trying to tell you what it's trying to tell you. And if it starts to fail, it will tell you that as well. So this, to me, the market is genuinely trying to push a little bit higher. It could fail here as well. I've just put that little level there as a kind of a guide. Let's see where we go with that. There was something else I wanted to add that I thought was kind of important on that. What happened with Aussie Swissy's going? Hey, look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. It's a beautiful trade. And so entry on the break above that, stop loss here, fine. I want to go back to dollar yen and see what's going on there. I want to see what happened with dollar yen. dollar yen's coming back down. So I had thought of maybe, you see this level of support and resistance, I thought maybe taking that. And actually, I think you still could. But I've lost out on my optimal setup. Okay, I've lost on my optimal setup. This is not the best setup. You would have to go through, like I would do this. For the purposes of illustration, 0.1% on this one. Show my lines. Stop loss has got to be, it's just not great because now my 1-to-1 is quite far down. I would go live. My stop loss would be there. It's not ideal, but the principle holds. And that would be 114. So that's my 1-to-1 and go live on that one. Okay, so it's a live trade now. I'll take it again. Hide the lines. There we go. And so we'll see if that's the case. So here I'm looking again, break of structure. Let's see if the market's going to keep going as well. Okay, we'll just keep that where it is and see how that goes. And Aussie dollar is pushing on. I like the look of that. That looks good. Okay. Okay, let me have a look at, yeah, that looks good. I think that's good to leave. So Roberto, you asked me what I should do with my stop loss, and this is what I would do. I'm going to, now I'm happy to update it. So now I can take the stop loss and move it up to here behind the market structure. I mean, I'll lose less if I lose less. And this is if I want to set and forget it. Let's see how dollar yen is doing, and that's fine. I think that's probably going to go on and hit 1-to-1. So occasionally that will happen. I'm not taking, I promise you, I'm not taking dollar yen to revenge trade. I'm taking it because in principle, I think the idea still held up. Okay, I believed in the idea. So for you guys, if you're new, you might be like, well, maybe it was a bad idea. I still think the idea was pretty good. I was looking for signs of exhaustion here. The market did do that. The 1 minute would have been a great entry anywhere here. With an entry anywhere in this area, stop loss above that would have been perfect. Would have been more than enough on that. Okay. So let me see if I can get my 1-to-1 because it's right at this level. We're going to see this clearly. We've got the same problem the other way. We've got these wicks here that are a bit exhausted. That's trying to go. Let's see what happens with this stuff. Okay. But you can't stress if you're going to be, if you are stressing, first of all, I don't think anyone should trade more than 1% per trade. I just don't think you should. I think it should be less. 0.5%, 0.25%. Your headspace is very different when you are risking what you think are pennies. If you risk 0.25% per trade, your headspace is completely different than if you're risking 1%. Because even 1% loss, if you have 2 of those in a day, you're like, oh, it's 2% down. I've got to get it back. But if you, let's just see what happens with this. This is the equivalent. Sorry, this is the equivalent area over here where we're getting, we've got some rejections of those lows. Okay, so let's see how that goes. Just want to keep an eye on that. And so, what was I saying? So it's a different thing, and money impacts your technique. It impacts your performance. So you have to dial it down for you personally until it doesn't impact your performance. It's just that straightforward. And as I said, to give you some downside kind of idea on that, that's looking good. I'm happy with that. And I'm happy with that one. I think it's worth to wait for the candle to close. Yeah. So normally I trade 15 minutes, but for the purposes of today, I was going to look at the 1 minute because it should be so that for you guys, as you get more and more experienced, you can go on faster and faster time frames, but your decision must already be made. This is crucial. Your decision to take the trade must already have been made before you go to the 1 minute. So when you go to the 1 minute, what you're just looking for is your entry. That's the crucial part. It's not, I would be amazed if I saw someone who literally just traded the 1 minute without any other frame of reference, like where to go. It's possible. It is possible. But whoosh, you'd have to be a master trader for sure. So for me, a master trader, you get break even. So your stages are doubt, confusion, consistent losses, no fixed strategy. You're a little bit all over the place. Generally, once you decide, again, excuse my language, stop fucking around. I picked a strategy which was trending markets. Forget about trying to do a different, like each chart trying to find a trade there. It shouldn't be that way. The chart should either be tradable or not. And then if it's tradable, it's because it's trending, for example. So yeah, that's fine. I mean, if it fails now, I don't mind, but that's a really strong setup. And it was interesting. I stand by all of my assessments over here. I stand by how we did that. Then I said, well, wait for it to close. I stand by exactly that. That could have failed and we could have been stopped out there. That candle closed and then the next one looks nice and bullish. Would you call this a continuation candle? Yes. What happened here? This candle has closed above all these highs here. Okay. It's good. I'm reasonably confident that's going to go hit target. Reasonably. Could there be a major level here? Yeah, there could be. But I'm reasonably confident that's going to hit target. And dollar yen. Look at that little spot. I want that to hit my 1-to-1. I'd like to hit my 1-to-1 and then I'll wrap up. So I know we're running over. I apologize, but it's recorded and there's some stuff here. But yeah, look at what's going on here. Look at the that level of support there's definitely a zone where the market is twitchy about this. So we're just gonna have to see what happens. Let's just do that. If it can close down below that, I'm happy. Let me look at your comments. So what else was I saying? That's fine. So is that 1% of my account, not the margin? So this is percentage risk. Percentage risk. I can do position size as well if I want. That's good. Good. Keep going. You have to have some trust in the price action, guys. You have to trust. The markets are not out to get you. It feels like they are when you get your ass kicked 2 or 3 times in a row. But you have to trust the markets. And it takes practice. I cannot reasonably expect you to get to a place quickly, psychologically, or with experience. It takes practice. So yeah, this goes on percentage of the account, not margin. But yeah, 30-to-1 is the margin on that one. So you get here, margin will be that. I can't do that. I can't switch the leverage. It's not up to me. Makes sense. Break of structure and enter on the retrace. Thank you, Rat. That's exactly it. Can I call you Rat? Just let me know, or if you want a full name, or if you have a nickname. But that is it. Break of structure, enter on the retrace. Keep these up. Don't care if it's small money as long as it's live and we are hearing the logic. Cool. Yeah, and actually, if you like this, I enjoyed it too. We can do it again. If you want me to do it again, let me know, guys. Absolutely, let me know. Cool. Good. Okay, let me see what my other group is saying. Okay. Cool, Ash. We'll chat to you later. Cool. Let's see. Can we hit my... There we go. Oh. Come on, man. There's probably spreads on this. So when you see the spread, it's bigger, right? And it's not big. It just is big on the 1 minute. Very big on the 1 minute. Where's my spread, man? My spread here is 0.4, guys. 0.4, 0.8, 0.4. Okay, everybody's headed off. Everybody's got work, apparently. Okay, well, I would like that to close out. If that hits target, then I'll wrap up for today. How's my Aussie trade doing? Looks good. I think it's going to hit target, but I want to wrap this up. Close me out, man. Close my one trade out. Come on, do it. Oh, we're there. No, that's dollar yen. Dollar yen. Close. How much more do you need? Okay, well, please close. I don't want to end the session until it closes out, whether it does or doesn't, but come on, man, at least do that. Okay, it's fine. I think that's going to go and hit target. I think that's going to hit target. I think that'll hit 1-to-1. I don't know if it'll hit 3-to-1, but it'll hit 1-to-1. Come on. Just do me this kindness, and then we can wrap this up. Yeah. So this is 0.4. I'm happy with that. This in the past would have been 1.4 or something like that. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to. Come on. But you can't make them. You just can't make it do what you want to do. All right. So I think we're gonna get there. I'm gonna just bank that one. I'll just bank that one so I can move on with my life. So that's closed. And then this one, if we push down, this could be acting as some level of support. Possibly. We'll see. But I don't like that. So I'm going to close that out. I don't like that one. That shouldn't be doing that. There we go. We're out. Okay, that's fine. I'm net up for the trades we took today. I think it was pretty good. I think that's a level of support. I think we might ultimately push down, but look at the story here as well is not looking good. What could possibly happen is, this is a valid thing, it comes up to here, test the level, and then goes down. Okay, so unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't always just do it the time we want. We get a second rejection, and then it carries on down. But yeah, that's not good. I'm not happy with that. So that level is potentially a bit of a spot. That's okay. That's fine. For the purposes of this, we're fine. Net profitable for this morning. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go because I can't keep taking all your time. But if you did enjoy it, and let me know if you want to do it. Put some comments in the video or whatever it is. Do that, and then we'll do it again either later in the week or next week. But I really want to figure out what's going on this week because I expect a lot of volatility. Once we get through that, then I'm much happier with how things go. Okay, folks, I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun. Thanks, Catherine. Great. And chat to you later. Yeah, I've got my call with you today. So thank you very much. All right, folks. Yeah, I'm going to end the stream and I'll chat to you guys later. Thank you very much.